Tell me about the nursery.
Can't go in there. The door is closed until there's someone to put in there. But it's ready.
All right, Greg, what do you got?
Well, I'm just so emotional I can't share with you. I mean, there's nothing here, guys. I mean, guys who cry, any of us who cry, we're going to wipe away our tears, not give you the dramatic effect. This is, again, the thing you're talking about, feigned emotional display, right?
Mm-hmm.
Looking at me. I'm not even going to beat that one up. Every person on here, could he have emotion because he feels guilty for what he did? Yeah, and maybe he mustered everything he had to come up with some tears. Maybe he's really feeling guilty because he knows that everything's tightening in on him. I'm not going to try to figure out what's in his head. I'm going to say that's awfully out of place considering he's not used the name of his wife or the kid or anything else. And suddenly it's about this place, not about his wife's body, not about she's missing, not about any of that. It just feels out of place. If she's just missing and it's just a few hours, okay, then why is he crying about the baby room? Because he knows. So I'll leave it at that. And I will then say, Mark, what do you got?
Yeah, it'd be pretty easy for him to convert the stress that he's in because he's been hit and faint. So it would be pretty easy for him to convert that feeling into tears. And I think that's what he's trying to generate right now. He manages it. He does get there. He really is acting the role right now, I would suggest, of a poet and a romantic, because he's now going to show us a really big, what I call grand narrative. So a big story, one of the big stories that everybody understands, which is the idea of loss and rebirth, which means hope. So there's nothing to go in the kids' room, but if another one was to come along, then the door would open again. And what a great, metaphor and reality that he plays there. He's trying to give us the story of out of death, there comes hope, and out of hope, there comes something new. And that's quite smart because it's difficult for us not to get attracted to that idea. We will, for sure, as human beings, will get wound up in that narrative idea because it's a beautiful idea. You lose a kid, but hey, another one could come along and the room could be used again. But until that time, we will not touch it. But there is hope that it could open again. Just great storytelling there. And what we need to understand is it is a distraction. He's doing it to distract us and take us away from the fact that he has killed the wife and the unborn child here. But great distraction technique. And watch out for that with people who will suddenly go into big stories that you'll get wound up in, the epic drama of them, because this is an epic drama that he's spinning us now. Chase, what do you got?
I think anybody who would say, I'm not going to open it until there's someone to go in there, he's either A, saying someone else, his son's never going to go in there, or B, replacing his son's name. Who's Connor, by the way? Connor was his name. He has a grave with his mother. And he's using someone instead of saying Connor, or instead of saying my son. And there's no pronouns in here at all, which is one of the according to me, one of the most highly deceptive things you can do is to provide some long narrative that has about your experience that has no self-referential or team-referential pronouns in it. And he fails to say a lot of this stuff, but I want you to pay attention to, I think, the shame and guilt that you're seeing here on the chin boss and with this downward eye movement here. I think that's real shame about something that happened. But I don't think it's about what he's telling you that it is. And really quickly, go back through all this, and when he says, I had nothing to do with her disappearance, he already considers her disappearance to be a crime from the first minute. It's not, I didn't have anything to do with it, or I don't know where she is. There's a massive difference between I had nothing to do with her disappearance. That way, the word disappearance is a crime. So his statement alone assumes criminal behavior from
And
the
then the
get-go.
baby not coming back.
Yeah, and he knows the baby's not coming back because he knows it's not coming in. Can't go in there. And that's all I got. Scott?
All right. This is the creepiest, most grotesque answer to a question I've ever heard that we've done so far on this, because he doesn't even talk about his child like it's, like you said, Chase. He doesn't even name him, doesn't even say it was my kid or a child until a baby, anything like that. He says until there's someone to be put in there or to put in there. So that says everything. That says everything right there. And it's so quiet. Again, the sound guys got to be going nuts on this. He's probably so mad he can hardly stand it. But you can hardly hear him talking. And she never says to him, dude, I can't hear you. Do what? Perfect time to say, speak up, man. I don't know what you're talking about. To get to help fire him up some. But again, it's TV, and she's probably doing that for the TV vibe they're trying to get. But yeah, so that's the grossest thing I've ever seen on the stuff we've done. That's the worst. That shows no respect for his child. That shows no respect for little children. It shows no respect for life or for for his wife or his child. No respect whatsoever. So that has nothing to do with body language. That's all from an emotional standpoint. Apparently lately I'm getting one of these where I just and ran on them, but sorry.
Here's the thing for you. If you want to pull emotion up to the top, just sit with your eyes down to your right and start dwelling on things that live there. It will, and Mark, you probably have coached many people to do this, but if you put your head, you'll look emotional by looking down into your right. And if you keep your eyes there long enough, you'll start to dwell on things that matter. And if you pick up one negative thing, it's going to boil up emotion in you. It helps. It gives you an ability. Interrogators, we have to pretend that we care sometimes and pretend we're emotional when we aren't. And it's a powerful tool for it.
Yeah.
Tell me about the nursery.
Can't go in there. The door is closed until there's someone to put in there. But it's ready.
If you like this video, get the full body language breakdown and analysis on our main channel by clicking this video right here.